Is Arknights free to play friendly? In today's video, I wanted to talk about whether Arknights was free to play friendly, talk about my own thoughts and opinions, as well as open the floor in the comments down below for you guys to give your own voice and opinion there. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to be going over the personal things that I just struck out to me like, yes, this is free to play friendly. The first thing and the most interesting thing that I seen when I first started was the skin concept. So basically you can get a lot of different skins as a free to play player and a relatively new player, because each time that you clear something with a 3-star, you can get an Organium. This Organium is pretty much the premium currency because you can, buy it with the PayPal, Google Pay, whatever you want to do. You can buy it that way, but you can also grind it through first time clears, through the events, first chapters, all that kind of stuff. And if you save it correctly, you can buy skins. Now, you can't buy every single skin in the shop if you're free to play. You can't just like sweep it all out, but it's very interesting to see that they kind of gave up a revenue source. And the reason I say this is because if you look at other games, not just mobile games, not just gacha games, but even games like Fortnite, you can see like Street Fighter, just for an example here, a $60 game, $50 game, and they offer stuff like DLC, $20, and you can get some different outfits. Most of the time it comes with like a different character, but you can get outfits, different shades, different colors. Fortnite, obviously you pay for the skins, and then you have other gachas that are like, you know what, buy this currency, buy a skin. But Arknights is like, you know what, we can have you do that. You can obviously buy the Organium if you want to. That is the only currency that you can buy skins with, keep in mind. But if you know how to manage this resource correctly, you can get skins however you want. Now, keep in mind that you do have to sacrifice some skins. Like I said, you can't just go in there and flush out the system. You can't just buy everything in the shop. You do have to pick and choose, but it's very interesting to see that they're even allowing free-to-play players to be like, you know what, I really like that Blim and Shine skin. I really want to be able to get it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get it. Maybe another skin comes up. I can't pass up this skin. You have the choice to do that. And it's very interesting to see that they offer that. And very limited times, they have a kind of foreseeable future thing. If you buy a certain skin, like right now is the Spectre one, you can actually get a voucher for a free skin in the future. So it's kind of like a BOGO one. And the interesting part is the community helps a lot of people understand that this is the case. So many people talk about like, hey, buy this skin. Every single time an event comes up, everybody's like, hey guys, everybody who doesn't know, buy this skin, make sure to get it because you can get a voucher if you like that character. Of course, you don't want to buy it if you don't care about the character, but it's very interesting to see that those are opportunities when the skin market is a very huge market for money, especially for free to play games. It's a very good way to make a lot of money. Of course, they have the gacha side of it, so a lot of people spend on the characters and stuff like that, which I have a very interesting point on why I think free to play friendly makes people actually spend a little bit more at the end of this video. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Organite. So this is going to be the summonable currency. If you're able to, convert that with the Organium, I don't really recommend doing that, and most people don't, but you can actually get the Organite from a couple different sources. So if you're brand new, it does seem a little overwhelming. You kind of think like, okay, well, I should just use the Organium to convert to the summonable currency. That makes sense, right? So I can get more characters, new stuff. But if you kind of pay attention and you wait a little bit longer, the game will actually open up different avenues to get the Organite in order to do your summonable currency. Now, I'm not talking about like 30 some pulls a week or nothing like that, but it's very interesting to see that they allow you to grab a lot of different stuff. They give a lot of different freebies, especially if you're a light spender and get the monthly pack. There are ways to build up your Organite very quickly. So one thing I want to talk about is the Annihilation. Annihilation is a very cool feature. There's just a couple different things that I want to describe about it. First and foremost, if you don't know anything about it, basically enemies come in waves up to 400 kills. Whenever you get your 400 kill, you have cleared the Annihilation. So each Annihilation has some different rewards to it. Each one has a tier, so you get like 200 kills, 300 kills, 400 kills, and whatever. There's ones in between it, but basically the idea is you get a couple different rewards. Some of the times you just get outright Organite. You get like 400, 600 Organite. Sometimes you get an increase in your maximum weekly cap. So for example, I think you start at like 1200 that you can get every single week. You are only able to get that amount. So no matter how much you play Annihilation, you can only get 12,000 or 1200. And then you can eventually get that cap to 1800, I think is the highest that I've seen a lot of people. I think it goes a little bit higher than that, but I'm currently at 1400. And so each and every week I can get 1400 basically for free just by going through it. And the interesting part is if you have a really good auto clear, you can just run the auto clear until you're working on some other stages and stuff like that. So it's a very consistent way to get the summonable currency. Now, talking about some other things event related, this is something that really pivoted me to actually make this video, was the current event near light. Now, the reason I'm going to bring this one up is because it is limited, and there is a couple different things that may kind of make people think, okay, this game is not free to play. So just describing kind of the way the limited operator works, if you get very, very unlucky, okay, there's a rate up banner for the limited unit. Sometimes they share with another 6-star, which makes the rate a little bit lower. But if you get super unlucky, right, you have to go to the hardest pity. The hardest pity in the game is like a 300. After your 300 summon, you get these tokens and you can convert it to a limited operator. So with that, keeping in mind, right, 300 summons seems like quite a bit. Most of the time, it's only going to be whales and dolphins that can get to that point unless you save correctly. Now, the interesting part about this is that the game actually gives you 24 pulls, a 10 pull at the very beginning. So as soon as the event launches, you log in, you get a free 10 pull. Okay, that's very interesting to see. Like, okay, you know what? Here is just kind of a 10 pull. Most people I see in the Discord actually ended up getting the limited unit just from the 10 pull, the free 10 pull, and they're able to save all their currencies to go on to the next one. And then each day, I think it was for like 14 or 15 days, it's still ongoing, but each day you log in, you get one free pull. So each day you can do one free pull. I've actually gotten 3 myrtles from my free pulls, which doesn't seem like a lot because she's only a 4-star unit, but she's a really good DP printer. So the idea that I got 3 of her for free, basically, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't spend no money and I got her for free. And then the other thing, it's like the game's like you got shafted by your free pulls. We're going to give you a mining permit. And the only thing that this does is you log in, you press play, and it does this little wonky thing, and it gives you 400 to 1,000 of the Arknight every day. It's just like, it's a random number between those two. I think it was 400, 800, and 1,000 or something like that. But each day you have a chance of getting a little bit boosted towards that 1,000. So if you had like a couple of days where you're not getting that 1,000, gives you a certain percentage until you can get 1,000, and you can use it however you want. You can use it to summon on the limited banner, you can save for the next one, and whatever. And if you're a monthly spender and you go from there, it's just so many different ways to be able to get a lot of the currency in the game. And I just feel like that makes it really, really free to play. My last point might actually end up being an entirely different video, a little bit more detailed on it, but I think that this actually nets Arknights more money being free to play than it does compared to other games who are very, very aggressive with their marketing and the way that they take money. Now, the reason I think this very briefly is because when you build a community that they know they can participate in these events if you're free to play, because they're basically saying, here's 10 free bucks. I don't exactly know the currency, but basically you're going to a festival and it's just like somebody's giving you 10 bucks to go play on some of the rides and stuff like that for free, just for fun. You know, if you want to play anymore, you'd have to spend your own money. But it's cool to see that they're like, hey, you want to participate in the event? Here's a couple of dollars, go have fun, and then come back to me. Now, the interesting part about that is the more free to play friendly it builds the community around, the more people are willing to say, you know what, they aren't taking money from me unwillingly and making me pay on stuff that just sucks to pay on. So you know what, I'm going to be a monthly subscriber. I'm going to buy that $25 box. I'm going to buy some more currencies because I want to support the game. I want to see where it goes. And you foster a community that's like, you know what, this game's so free to play friendly that I'm going to actually buy stuff. I'm going to do all for them. And I think that's not necessarily the mindset. I really do think that they want people to participate and have fun, but it just really helps them out in their favor versus being like, you have a bad taste in your mouth if you have to go to like, you know, a Genshin pity every single day and you just have to get certain units to have fun in the game. And you're just like, man, this kind of sucks. So you don't really want to spend too much money on it. But with Arknights, you're like, you know what? I'll spend the money. You know, they give me all this stuff for free. It's kind of like paying them back. And then you see all the cool things that they get to do with it. But anyway, if you want to see a whole entire video on that concept, definitely let me know in the comments. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Overall, I think the game's very free to play friendly. I think a lot of you will agree, but I wanted to give my take on it. So have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.